Hi, all. I wanted to make sure that you understood what was coming up just before we meet this next week. And it occurred to me it'd be a lot easier just to make a screencast than to try to explain it all in an email. So watch this short screencast. Make sure that you understand what your assignments are coming into the next Monday, and it's going to clean things up a lot for you. First of all, remember that we do meet on Monday the 14th. That class is going to start at 4:30 because we're doing it in conjunction with the elementary side, and Professor Kardash, who is a member of the state's Professional Teaching Practices Commission, is going to be leading our class. So about half of it will be an ethics workshop and discussion, and the other half, actually it won't be a half, will be a quick meeting in which we go over how things are going and what's going to come down the pike. But just real quickly, let me share with you what you have to do to make sure that you're staying on track for me. Okay? So, first of all, realize that you should be completing this log, the reflective log, every day that you're with your teacher. And the expectations are that it's fairly detailed. Detailed in the lessons you taught, the objectives you had, the questions you might have asked, the uh, help that you gave your teacher. All of this would go into that reflective log. And so you're just keeping track of that down here, day one and day two. So 2 days out of the week, that's how much we expect you to be in class. Now, every session, and there are 4 sessions, so we divided the semester into fourths, and that first fourth is coming due this week, okay, or actually next week. So what happens then? Well, what happens then, you need to reflect on standards 1 and 2 of the InTask standards. Now, I've given you a link to the InTask standards. Go ahead and read through standards 1 and 2. And you need to reflect on how you met those standards this week, this session, and the kinds of things you learned, and specifically those things that you did to meet the standards. I would ask the question, how did I meet standards 1 and 2? What are some artifacts? What are some things I did to show that I met these standards 1 and 2? And if I didn't, what are my goals moving ahead so that I can document meeting those standards? That's that reflection. That has to happen. That has to be a part of this come the end of the session, which is on the 19th, 18th. Okay? The other piece is that because there are 4 sessions, we've chosen 4 parts of the school that we expect you to learn more about. Now, this is not technically a shadow. You're not going to follow them around because of the COVID situations in most of our schools. So you're going to have to do some sort of an interview, set up an interview, ask good questions, and then talk about that interview in this piece right here, the school community shadow. If you're not sure with whom you should be talking, again, you're going to find it right here. The principal, the principal, assistant principal, some administrator, someone in the library staff, someone in the special education staff, and some support staff. So those are the 4 things you have to target. I haven't specified which one when, but over the course of the semester, you're going to knock out each of these 4. So that's what has to happen here coming up on the 18th. Okay? Now, how do you know? How do you get hold of all this? How do you remember all this? Well, obviously, you're going to pay attention to the emails and the announcements from me, but you should also be aware of how this works in Blackboard. When you log into this class in Blackboard, you have this to-do thing, this calendar. And right away, it'll tell you the things that are due, and it'll tell you the things that are past to do, and you just click on that, and you can see what is due, and you can ask yourself, well, did I do those? And then you're going to say, okay, what's due? And you can say what's due today or tomorrow or this week. And this week, of course, you can see that you need to have answered a discussion post about planning your school shadow and interview. You also have coming up, okay, our focused observation on the hook, which is the first essay that I get from you, as well as the reflection and shadow and the parent permission forms. All of these are in are part of your submission for this coming week. The last one I want to talk about is the Go React practice video, and I'm going to do that in a separate screencast. Okay? So make sure that you've worked on these assignments and start getting them done so that they don't fall on your head, fall all at your